Hello everybody, this is Spiro again with another guidebook of the week here. This time we're going to be talking about lockout tagout training. I wanted to create a work instruction that wasn't entirely a work instruction. It was more tied to training or something else because I love showcasing VKS as something that you can use not just for SOPs and work instructions and procedures, but also for preventive maintenance and training and other procedures and processes that may not be quote-unquote production, but still hold and have a lot of value. So we're going to talk about lockout tagout training today. And I'm going to go to the work instruction here. There we go. All right, so this one is more in tune to training. What we're going to end up doing in this one is either performing this in a, maybe showing this in a classroom, or somebody could sit down and look at this and read through it. There's some cool things in here. Not a lot of forms. There's a few forms and a couple of links and things that I'll show you here. We start up the instruction, got a bit of a cover page here. Hop on into it and we're going right into the training. What's the purpose of lockout tagout? To control and dissipate the hazardous energy before maintenance or servicing. So I should have put servicing in there as well. What are the different types of hazardous energy that you could have? Here's an example of some of them. So again, this could be something up on a smart board or something like that if you wanted to. Behind you, not in my basement, but you know, in an office setting or something of that nature. What type of steps do you take, right? Notify all affected employees that servicing and maintenance is required on the machine. Let's take one step back here. So before you're going to notify people, you have to identify the machine. So we're going to identify the machine. We're going to say, hey, this is the machine or the device that we have to lockout tagout because it requires service and maintenance. So we're going to do that. And then after that, then we're going to notify all the operators. How do you notify the operators and the employees? Maybe you have a walkie-talkie. Maybe you are going to walk out on the shop floor and tell them, who knows. Now I have a form here that I created that is something that you can use for your lockout tagout procedures, where you can actually notify people. You can shoot out an email through VKS and say, hey, this machine's going to be locked out and tagged out at this date and time, and it should be released at this date and time. This could go to team leaders. This could go to shop floor operators. This could go to basically anybody you want. And let's say tomorrow at 2 in the morning, 2:30 in the morning, and then it's going to be released the next day at 2:30 in the morning. Let's just say that. And then I can write some comments in here. And you could have this go to individual people. You could have this go to a general group of people. That's one of the cool things about VKS. You can send out notifications just by saving forms. So we have a notification. We sent out our notification that the lockout tagout was going to take place. What do we have to do next? Okay. The authorized employee, which is the person that's going to do the lockout tagout, shall refer to the company procedures, identify the type and magnitude of energy that the machine or equipment utilizes. So what's this mean? This means that we have to check out the manuals. We have to understand what type of energy this machine uses, because we're going to have to take a few steps. Not just turn the power off to the machine. We're going to have to take a few steps here. So maybe we're going to go and find those manuals or those procedures that we have for lockout tagout. And another cool thing, you could also link those in here as well. So if I had those procedures, I could hyperlink those directly in. In this case, I think I linked something. What did I link? Okay, so I just linked the OSHA lockout tagout procedure in here, hyperlink right to their website for that, but you could also link other items. Step 3, if the machine or equipment is operating when you want to lockout tag it out, you have to shut it down, and you want to properly shut it down. You just don't go over to your computer and pull the plug out the wall. You want to actually push that shutdown button, and then you want to have it properly shut down before you do anything to it. So that's what you want to do in this case as well. Don't be ripping plugs out of the wall. Do the proper shutdown. Turn your valves, push the stop buttons, properly shut down. Step number 4, deactivate the energy isolating devices. So it's going to have power. It's going to have power going to somewhere, and then it's going to have power going to your main hub. So in some spot, you're going to be able to turn off that energy source. So you want to turn those things off. Of course, you can't just turn them off and walk away, because then somebody can walk up and say, hey, this thing is off. Let me turn it back on. And I've seen crazy things like that before. Step number 5, lock out the energy isolating device with the assigned individual lock. So you generally have a lock and a tag that's tied to this that says, this is locked out for this reason by this person. I'm the only person that can unlock this device, and it's locked out because of service and maintenance of XYZ. So you want to have the appropriate device, and you want to lock out that item. And it could be a bunch of different types of items. It doesn't have to be an electrical plug. You're seeing a couple different examples right here. Step 6 is very important. So there is always some kind of stored, or generally there's always some kind of stored energy, right? So stored or residual energy, such as in capacitors, springs, elevated machine members, rotating flywheels, hydraulic systems, air pressure, a whole bunch of different things. You have to dissipate the energy. You don't want things moving after you shut everything off when you're doing service or maintenance. So if you have to dissipate the energy or hold things or block things, you want to do that as well. And this is part of step, I think it was number 2, where you're identifying the types of energy that the device uses. Step number 7, ensure that the equipment has been properly shut down, locked out, tagged out, and you can't really turn it on. So after you turn off everything, after you lock out everything, after you dissipate everything, you got to try and test the equipment. You got to move handles around. You have to try and turn the machine on. You have to see if you can actually turn the device on. This is a bit of the final test here, where you can test out and make sure that everything you did was correct. You locked out and tagged out the correct piece of equipment or energy source, and then everything is good to go. In addition to this, there's a note at the bottom here to say, return operating control to the neutral or off position after verifying the isolation of the equipment. You don't want to turn something to turbo and then leave it on turbo, so the next time the person comes up after the machine is not locked out and tagged out anymore, he turns it on and everything's in turbo and just flying off everywhere. So you don't want that, right? And then step number 7 is the machine or equipment is now locked out. Or no, step number 8, I'm sorry. And then step number 8 as well, Spiro's step number 8 is always have some fun. Especially when you're doing training, when you're doing presentations, have some fun. And that's what this step is all about right here. As you can see, I have my picture of Chuck Norris in there with the thumbs up. He's approving this step number 8 here. Always have some fun. I always like to say, if you can't have fun at work, where can you have fun, right? I'll pause for some applause and laughs and things right there. Okay, so we could call it good right there. And then we could say, okay, the training is complete. I added one additional item in here. I added some quizzes. Well, actually just one quiz. So I have a quiz in here, and another cool thing you can do is validation of information within VKS. So I can enter in information, and generally you might use this for like a measurement or checking a serial number or something like that. But in this case, I made a quiz, and then I can go through the quiz and I can fill out some stuff. Did I fill out stuff right? Oh, I don't know. Oh, I filled out stuff wrong. You have incorrect answers, try again. So I can perform a quiz, I can answer the questions in the quiz, and then I can maybe pop up a message. Maybe I can say, hey, I'm gonna send an email out because you need retraining on this because you weren't paying attention. Who knows? But this is another cool thing you can do, is you can validate the answers and you can record this information. And then if I actually enter things correctly, and I hit save, everything's good. Oh, I passed the test. And I could have a message, I guess, that says I passed the test. And you're good to go or something like that. I could do that as well. All right, we're gonna call that good. And I wanna say thank you very much for checking out this video with me again. Thank you for listening to me talk. Thank you for listening to me joke. Remember to have some fun wherever you are. And I gotta put up one more thing. What is it? This one right here. So if you wanted this example of the instruction, just let us know. Reach out to your VKS representatives. We can always send it to you. You can check it out. VKS can be used for a lot more cool things other than just SOPs and work instruction. So thank you very much again, and look forward to some more good stuff from us.